Hey crafters, I'm Shay over at Trebuchet, and I'm here today to show you a fun little easy Cricut project for beginners. Now, whatever die cutting machine you have will work great for this project. I'm going to show you part of the tutorial on Cricut Design Space specifically, and we are doing a little planter and little tags for Mother's Day. We're going to create a cute little setup. I'm going to be using Creative Fabrica's decals and cut files, their fonts. I'm obsessed. Y'all know that if you've seen my videos. It's pretty much all I use for cut files. We're gonna jump on over and look at what supplies you're gonna need for this project. Let's get started. For this project, we're going to need a few materials. First, I have my planter. You can look for anything that just has a flat surface on it. So I went ahead and went with a plastic one. You can do it on wood if you wanna use something like heat transfer vinyl, but today we are using permanent adhesive vinyl. So that's what I have here in a couple colors. You're going to need some type of transfer tape to go ahead and transfer your decal over to your planter. I grabbed these little garden tags at the dollar store, but you could absolutely use your Cricut machine to cut out your very own if you want. I'm using a Cricut Maker. You can use any cutting machine that you have. A ruler just to measure your area, it's a good idea. My weeding tool, scissors, and a little scraper tool to go ahead and adhere your decal to your project. And then we also have a Cricut mat. I'm using the green standard grip mat. It is a 12 by 12 mat, but you can use whatever you have. And of course, I'm designing the project over on Cricut Design Space and using Creative Fabrica's cut files and fonts for this project. So let's go ahead and get started on this project. I am going to be using the Garden SVG bundle here. I love that it has multiple different ones, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the "You Are Never Too Old to Play in the Dirt" because that feels pretty accurate to me. I like to add it to my favorites if I want to come back and find some other ones, but I'm just gonna go ahead and download this. The font I'm going to be using today is a Bird Space font from Creative Fabrica. I think this is so cute, and it's gonna turn out really adorable for the font that's gonna go on my little garden tags. I love the girly, cursive kind of font, and this is just really the vibe I'm going for. So we're gonna download that. Make sure to install it into your computer. And this is really great on Creative Fabrica because, like I've mentioned before, it includes the commercial license. You have unlimited downloads, so I go ahead and I get the monthly subscription. They also have 10 free downloads for you to try out, a little free trial. See how you like it. I guarantee you're gonna fall in love and want to keep going with it. Like I've mentioned before, I use this for all of my craft projects, so I highly recommend you check them out. Now that we're in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to go ahead and select Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. Now, make sure when you download your cut file from Creative Fabrica that you are unzipping the file. How you do that is you're going to go into your Downloads folder. You're going to see it downloaded there with a little zipper on it. The file will have a zipper across it, and you're going to right-click on that, select Extract All, Extract, and now you can go ahead on Cricut Design Space, press on that Upload button, and press on the unzipped file folder. You'll find it in there under SVG, PNG, whatever type that you downloaded. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue, select Upload, and I have my project here ready to go. I could go ahead and do it just like this, but I'm going to play around with the colors a little bit. I'm a visual crafter, so I like changing the colors directly on my design space. I'm going to go onto this Layers panel and ungroup my image. Now, if I do this enough times, I'm able to then move out. You'll see the green portion from the pink portion, and now I can play around with different colors. I can remove parts from the design. I can add parts. So here you're going to see that I am going to remove these little squiggles, and instead I'm going to leave it with just the wording, but I'm going to add a couple little shapes. And I will tell you why shortly. You will see why I recommend you do this when you are doing a layered, different color vinyl project. Something like this, a layered SVG, a layered cut file. You're going to want to line it up perfectly, and this is a little tip that helps a lot, especially how you can see here that the words are cut out and overlapping. You want this to line up perfectly. Otherwise, the L in the word play with that little portion in the middle, it's not going to be lined up. It might look a little wonky and you're going to get a little frustrated. Now you can see here that with hitting the ungroup button on my layers panel, it separated every single letter practically. So I'm going to go ahead and move this. I'm going to go ahead and just weld it because I'm fine with it being all combined. You can also select Unite. It is honestly personal preference. They do a couple different things. Weld you cannot undo. So once you hit weld, if you continue with your project later, you're not going to be able to just undo it. You'll have to literally hit the undo button a bunch of times and redo your whole project. If you hit unite, you can always go back and select ununite, and then you're good to play around with it. So again, personal preference. I am one of the OG crafters that just likes hitting that weld button, okay? So that's what I did there, but I probably suggest you hit unite if you're using Cricut Design Space. You can see here I am adding a couple of squares, and I will do them color coded so that I know which layer is which. I'm going to highlight over the 2 squares that are the exact same size, hit align and center. And what this does is put it in the exact same spot on my decal so that the blue layer, when I change it to the blue square, and the purple layer, when I change it to the purple square, are going to line up perfectly to create this decal. In the end, you will see how this works, how I remove the squares, all of that stuff, because the squares aren't actually part of the decal. It's just to go ahead and create it all. Now make sure you combine all of it together by selecting unite, and then I am able to go ahead and make my project. Be sure to size your project to what you need. I'm going to hop on over and measure out my project, and then I'm going to go ahead and size it here. You can use the little arrows like I'm doing, or up here you have your sizing chart. Just make sure you hit the unlock button here if you need to adjust the height and the width separately. Otherwise it will stay the same look and just make it larger together. For our garden tags, we're going to go on over to text. Now remember, you do need to install the font first. You do that by going into your file folder. You're going to right click on the fonts, select install on it. You might need to extract it from the folder, okay? And once you do that, you need to reboot your design software that you're using. You can just refresh it by hitting this, view, and reload. Make sure to save your project before. And that's going to go ahead and get it added into the software. So all we're going to do is write out the garden tags. I'm going to write out all of the ones that I'm going to use. And there we go. I'm going to size them. So I measured what size I want to use for them. So I have those. I'm going to go ahead and highlight over them and just change them to the purple color I'm going to be using. Like I mentioned, I'm a visual crafter, so I like to see that. I size them to where I need. And I'm going to go ahead and just unite these. Go ahead and select unite. That way with the cursive font, it combines them. You don't have to do this if you're not using a cursive font, but I suggest doing this, that way it is all together and now there's no lines cutting through your font. We're gonna go ahead and select make it. You're going to select vinyl as your material, and then you're gonna go ahead and pull your Cricut away from the wall a little bit. This ensures that when the mat goes through your Cricut while it's cutting, it's not just gonna hit the wall and ruin your decal. Our next step is with our Cricut mat. So we are going to go ahead and cut the white color first. So I'm going to lay this out on my mat. This is a little bit of scrap vinyl that I have, so it's not going to be perfectly lined up like a brand new sheet would. But if you're a crafter, you know that saving money when you can, so that you can buy more craft supplies, is highly recommended. So we're gonna go ahead and just stick it on like so. You could absolutely cut off the excess if you wanted. I like to leave it, that way I can maximize the amount of scraps that I have for future projects, but you can do as you wish. And then you can see here that my vinyl, of course, isn't here. So all I'm gonna do is on my computer, I'm just going to manually move the decal from here to over here to match where the vinyl actually is. You want your digital mat on whatever design software you're using, Cricut Design Space, Silhouette Studio, to match exactly what your physical mat looks like. So just match up the measurements. You can see here it starts at 7 and it goes down and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I start cutting out my decal. Now I do want to stick this on a little better, but first I'm just going to load my mat into the guidelines here. I am going to take my brayer tool. This is not a necessary step, but my mat is not very sticky anymore. Load my Cricut, and we're ready to go. We're gonna press the flashing C, and it's gonna get started. Now that it's done cutting, we're gonna press the flashing arrow and unload our mat. To unload your mat, you're gonna flip it upside down like this. You're gonna put your hand on your material and peel the mat away from the material. This ensures that your material isn't getting all bent and your decal's not getting all messed up. Next, we're gonna go ahead and load our second color. You're going to do this step for as many colors as you have selected. This is our next one. We're gonna go ahead and load it the exact same way. And while that's cutting, we're gonna get started on weeding out this material. We can move our Cricut out of the way now. Allows for a little bit more space. Do the same thing, flip over your mat and pull away, and we can move our mat out of the way as well. So when it comes to weeding, which is removing the negative part or the background of your project that you don't need on your decal, I like to cut a little bit around. This way I can optimize the amount of vinyl that I save and don't just waste. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut around that decal. And then I also have this. So when I'm weeding it, I'm not just pulling up all of the backing that I could be using for another project. So now we have a couple of things to work with. A little tip I like to do is use my mat as kind of like an extra set of hands. It allows me to now be hands-free, just using my weeding pick and going ahead and pulling out the parts that I want. In case you're new to this kind of project, now you can kind of see what's going on. So we have little portions here that we're going to be pulling out. So you can see here I'm pulling out the middle of the letters. I suggest you do that first because otherwise, afterwards, if you try to do this, it can move your decal around and then you're kind of stuck trying to figure out where each letter was and how to put it back. I'm going to pull off the remainder of the background, and you'll see here you'll be left with just the decal. Now you want to do this slowly, and if any of your decal or the part that you're wanting to keep peels up, all you're going to do is push it back down. You can use your weeding pick that you're holding or your finger to just try to push it back down and then pull it back up all over again. So we're going really slow to make sure nothing's getting peeled up. Like I said, if it is, your project is not ruined, it's fine. And voila. I'm using tech wrap vinyl today for this portion of the project, and then I used Oracle 651. These are both permanent adhesive vinyls, so this will be great for outdoor use, indoor use, whatever you need, but it will hold up in the rain out there. Perfect. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trim these down to make it easier to transfer. So we have our transfer tape here. And now you're gonna see why I made these little squares. It's going to be perfect to line up your project. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the white part of the decal first. And this is how I like to do layered vinyl projects. There are a few different ways to do it, and different crafters are gonna have different ways. This is just what I find the easiest, okay? I'm still using my mat as another set of hands because it kind of holds it down a little bit. And this is going to be the same as weeding. So you're pulling it away. If anything gets pulled up, you're just gonna push it back with your fingers, rub on it, and try again. We're going to line up these little squares. And that's how I'm going to know exactly where everything in my decal lays. There we go. And now you can see how perfect that lined up, especially because in this decal, it is cut out to fit the other color. The reason I like to peel up the entire back is if I'm starting to peel this, you can see that certain parts are staying. But instead, if I peel up the entire sheet and flip it over, gravity kind of helps you. And so not only are you able to pull it off a lot easier, you can actually see right away the part that's not coming up, like right here, you can see. So I'm gonna push it back down with my finger, and there we go. Slow and steady, so that none of your decal is moving about. If it does move, it's not the end of the world. Keep going, and at the end, you can stick those letters back in after with your weeding pick, whether that be after you do the transfer or just directly onto the transfer tape. So you can see this one's being a little tricky. We're just going slowly, making sure it's stuck on there, and I'm using my fingers to add pressure behind the part. You can see here I'm pushing behind the part that is not coming up, kind of squishing my fingers together between this side and the other side to get it to stick on there nicely. There we go. I don't really need that square, so I'm fine if it stays on there. And now we have the whole decal. Now you can see one of my squares came off, one of them is still on here. It's not a problem. You will see why in a moment. It's really easy to take it off the project. Now remember, this project has this ribbed portion. If you were doing easier than me, which I suggest, you're going to get a flat planter, but no, I had to be complicated today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do it like this. With my decals, I kind of fold it like a U. I push down the middle part first with my finger, and then I go either left or right first, and that's how I do it. Now for these grooves, in case you also have a project that has grooves here like my planter, I'm using this tool to kind of push it in before I remove the transfer tape. This is going to allow the vinyl to kind of mold into it more, making it easier, and then I'm just going to scrape over the whole thing. Perfect. And slowly peel away. Now, depending on what material your planter is, it might start peeling up, the decal might start peeling up with the transfer tape, and that's okay. We're just gonna, again, stick it back down. Use your finger or your scraper to put it back on there. Now, this material that I'm using is just a really easy, thick plastic, so it's sticking on there really well, as you can see. And now, this little square, I can just pop right off like that. This transfer sheet, you can actually just reuse. So I suggest sticking it back onto the page that you pulled it off of and cut it out. And you can use it for your next project, which we'll actually be using to transfer these over. But if you are doing another project in the future, you can go ahead and use that. These are the tags I'm using. Like I said, you could absolutely make them yourself with your Cricut, but today I'm using ones from the dollar store. And there we go. First we have parsley. I'm so excited to get my garden going this year. So this is a perfect Mother's Day gift to get me in the mood to garden and craft. We're gonna add parsley. Oh, this font is so cute. Wow. And then I just go ahead and use my finger to push down if it starts peeling up. We're going to grab basil. You see why I like to lift these up, flip them upside down, let gravity kind of help me do the work for me a little bit. You can see if it's pulling any portion up, I just go ahead and stick it back down. Basil. Do you say basil or basil? Which one? You do not have to seal these decals, but if you wanted to, I suggest some matte Mod Podge. Otherwise, these will hold up. They're permanent adhesive vinyl. They do great outside, so they should be totally fine. But yeah, it's up to you. If you do wood ones, I do suggest that you seal them just because they're wood. But plastic ones are gonna work great. And check out how cute this font is. Come on, adorable. Bird space, so cute. Now that we have our decals on here, it's time to run to the store, grab some plants and soil, fill this up. You could totally decorate these, you could paint them, add some ribbon, whatever you want, and then I'll show you the finished product once it's all ready to go.
Wishing all of you crafty mamas a happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting.